Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Happy holidays. It is the Sleepless Astrologers. I am Vickie, and here is Miss Kristin.
Hi.
And we are here. She says, hi. We are here with Gemini 2018 year in review, or is it year coming up, or year in review, or what are we?
No, it's not a review. It's 2018, so it's a forecast.
It's a forecast. Well, I've been calling it review because I'm dyslexic, so whatever the fuck. So we've got much to tell you, and I know you're excited, both of you, since you're twins. And whenever Miss Kristin is ready, she will give you the skinny all about Gemini. And I just like to add to subscribe, pretty please. Hit that bell twice so you know that we're on. And check out the description box for our social media contacts where you can come party with us whenever you feel like it, which should be all the time because we're a good time.
Right, and we're doing these live readings, and you won't know about them unless you're a subscriber. So, it'll let you know when we actually are about to go live. And I'm looking for my ephemeris right now. That is
the third Saturday of every month.
Or whenever we feel like it, but we'll definitely be doing it on the third Saturday.
News to me.
But what's that?
Okay. That is news to me, but okay.
Well, I just have to throw in a few curveballs here and there.
Yeah, we like that.
Okay, I've got my ephemeris. So Gemini is rules the third house in the zodiac. They're the rulers of communication, siblings. Geminis are the twin. They're an air sign. They rule everything as far as writing, talking, communication just in general. And what else, Vickie? I'm drawing a blank on Gemini here.
One thing that I remember learning about Gemini when I first started astrology with you, way back in the day, because Chrissy and I have been doing this since we were wee tots, is that Geminis truly believe what they say when they say it. And then they change their mind. And then they truly believe that. And that is why they are seen as two-faced. They are not two-faced. Most of them.
I think, two-faced, they have two distinct personalities, almost all of them. They have a public face and a private face.
Yeah.
And most Geminis appear really social because they typically are. And they appear very friendly and outgoing to most people. But at home, when they don't have to put on the happy face, then they often have a different side to them.
Yep.
But I really like what you said about the fact that they are, they change their opinion. So they believe what they're saying when they say it. It's so true. But they're always thinking.
Right.
They are always analyzing everything. They're the smartest sign in the whole zodiac. And so, yeah, they'll say
smarter
something.
Than Aquarius?
Yes, I do. I think that they're.
Why is that?
I just think that they're more analytical. Aquarians are more, they're definitely smart. All the air signs are really smart. Libras are just so wishy-washy,
Yeah.
They're really smart, and they take too long to make a decision. Geminis are faster. They're faster processors, and they're just much better communicators about what they think. But they never stop thinking. So they might say something, and then they're analyzing it still. And then, like you said, they might change their opinion based on what they're thinking. And they're not, they're a mutable sign, which means
changeable.
They're changeable, right? So they are
hard to pin down for marriage.
Right. Or they like lots of stimulation. It is hard to pin them down. But I think that when you do pin one down, that they're like pinned down. Like they're really, they can commit, but you have to have like 25,000 personalities to accommodate their.
Or at least something interesting to say during dinner.
Right. They'll be very bored quickly.
Yeah.
With a traditional relationship, I think.
Yeah.
So there's lots of really good things about Geminis. There's a lot of bad things too. They're the most, I'd say Gemini and Scorpio are the most hated of all the signs.
Really?
Don't you think?
Scorpio, I'm not surprised, but
Scorpios are just intense.
I would think Leo.
I don't know. Leos are lovable. I mean, they're annoying because they're always like me. But Geminis are, because you feel like you can't trust them, because they're so changeable, right? Yeah, they have a bad reputation in the zodiac, big time.
Yeah, you guys,
Hmm?
rebels,
They're rebels. Oh, they are.
badasses with your bad reputation in the zodiac.
Mr. Donald Trump has a sun in Gemini.
He's the first one on my list.
Yeah, Geminis are, a lot of serial killers are Geminis because they can, along with a lot of air signs, they can compartmentalize their feelings. They can totally kill you and justify why they did it. And
Or
it's
walk
calculated.
away with no feeling at all.
Yeah, they're okay with it. They're justified in doing that. So,
And Chrissy and I might visit serial killers and astrology.
yeah,
one of
we
our
have,
sessions.
that's definitely going to have to be, that's going to be multiple sessions. We're going to have to do like Charles Manson once and John Wayne Gacy another time.
Maybe we should do them by sign.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea. All the
Yeah.
Geminis, Sagittarius,
Pisces.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We need to do that. So do you have a list of
famous Gemini?
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
All right.
Who else?
Well, of course, our president, Donald Trump, who Mars rising represent. All right.
Fighters.
Kanye West, though, also listed as an Aries.
Well, okay.
So
we're not really close.
On the fence. We're on the fence. We don't know.
Okay.
Johnny Depp, Angelina Jolie.
Interesting.
We all know Prince was a Gemini. Clint Eastwood. I believe Joan Rivers. Tupac Shakur. And if you don't know who that is, Google him. A whole bunch of YouTube stars. Oh my God. Marilyn Monroe. Iggy Azalea.
Did not know Marilyn Monroe was a Gemini.
Yep. She's a big ass Gemini. Yep. Ice Cube, another one you can Google if you don't know.
Who doesn't know Ice Cube?
Millennials.
Yeah. He's popular though still. He's an actor. Like, he's not gone.
You think?
Mm.
I know Snoop Dogg has a cooking show with Martha Stewart.
I did not know that.
Edward Snowden, who I believe is a hacker.
Edward Snowden is like one of he's a hacker, but he was the one who gave all the evidence that the government was spying on us.
Yeah. So that hacking paid off.
Well, he's ostracized in Russia or wherever he is now.
Yeah, hacking. Chris Pratt. I don't know what I wrote. Macklemore. Marco Rubio. A whole bunch of wrestlers. A whole bunch of rappers. Blake Shelton. George Herbert Walker Bush. Bob Dylan. Paul McCartney. Lana Del Rey. Mel B, also known as Scary Spice. Kate Upton, Queen Victoria, Riley Keough, Natalie Portman. In case you don't know who Riley Keough is, that is Elvis's granddaughter.
I had no idea. Interesting.
She is a high fashion model. Idina Menzel, Anne Frank, Joan Collins, Zoe Saldana, Stevie Nicks, but also listed as Pisces. And she's really into the supernatural. So Pam Grier, and if you don't know who she is, Google, and Heidi Klum. Paula Abdul, Zachary Quinto, and Naomi Campbell.
A lot of superstars, a lot of musicians. Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Interesting list. Not as interesting as Cancer, but it was an interesting list.
I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
My grandmother was a Gemini. She was pretty famous.
Who?
My grandma.
Yeah.
She, kind of changed the world. She was one of those, she did with like the childbirth, natural childbirth. Tell
everybody the story about your Gemini grandma.
So my grandma in the 1940s decided that she was a nurse, and she she witnessed some births and was pretty horrified by how women were treated during the birthing process, and was motivated by a woman, one of her patients, who came in reading a book about natural childbirth. And so my grandma worked with her, read the book, and from that book, it was inspired to start a natural childbirth movement in this country. And she was pretty amazing in the 40s and 50s doing this, when women didn't even have jobs, a lot of them. So she founded natural childbirth. She was a pioneer in this country. And she was incredibly smart. She was most driven, smartest, but also typical Gemini. She was very well loved by the public. She was considered like the warmest, kindest woman. People would come up to her and be like, "You changed my life. You're the sweetest lady I've ever met." And then behind the scenes, she was like mommy dearest. She was crazy. I love my grandma, but she was really, really crazy. So, anyway, that's the two personalities. That's definitely two personalities. She had her public face and she had her private face, and they were completely different. It was like very stark contrast. So, anyway, we should talk about the year ahead for Gemini, correct?
You want to bring up the chart?
Yep, I will do that right now.
For Gemini friends.
Let's see here. I am trying to bring up the chart. Why is it?
It's Mercury retrograde.
Yeah, but it's not even showing me as an... Oh, here we go. Okay, Gemini. All right, so this is Gemini as of January 1st, 2018. So we can look at the beginning of the year and what sort of stuff is going to be happening for Gemini throughout the year. So Gemini's
start Mercury off on the node.
Oh.
So if you have something to say it now, because it's in Sag and it's retrograde, so it may not work out the way you intended, but...
Well, these are for like millennials, so it's going to be for the 20s. If you're in your mid-20s, like that would be on your node. Yeah. But but we're looking at like the aspects for basically how the sun is going to be aspected, right? And the slower moving planets. So,
and if Mercury might be opposed your sun at this time.
As of January 1st, right? This is January 1st.
Is that right? Sagittarius and...
Well, Mercury is in Sag. This is for January 1st. So yeah,
Mercury and Gemini are opposed.
Yeah.
Sagittarius and Gemini are opposed.
Right. So yeah, you start off the year with a little bit of
tension.
Yeah, communication issues. Right? You have to be really careful, as most Geminis have to anyway. And the sun is going, well, for everybody, right? The sun is going to be in conjunct North Node natally. For the current moments. Mm-hmm. What do you see as far as the outer planets?
Well, I noticed that the transiting node is in Leo and on Chiron, which doesn't move all that quickly. So it might be a karmic year, a year to explore things spiritually, maybe. And as that node moves, it might trine Uranus in Aries, and you might want to go back and think about your childhood a little bit and how that helped formed you and shape you and what you can do to improve it based on those experiences. And where is Neptune might be squaring your sun, which would not be fun for Gemini.
Yeah. Neptune's 11 Pisces. So 1, 2, yeah, you're right. So the Pisces, the Geminis who were born in the first third of the month, or first third of the sign. I always have a hard time explaining that. So May 23rd-ish through what, June 1st or 2nd. Anybody who was born between those days, their Neptune will be squaring their sun. So there's some confusion. To me, it looks like there's a lot of mental confusion for Geminis this year coming up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like uncertainty in the year, and it's a time of
reflection.
Yes, it's a time of reflection for 2018. I think especially the Geminis, and you won't be able to know this unless you have actually done your full natal chart, but a Gemini who has a Mercury in Cancer, they're going to have the Pluto in opposition to their Mercury, right? So I don't know, essentially a third of the Geminis are going to have this happening for them. Again, you won't know this until you've actually found out where your Mercury is. You can do that by going to astro.com and looking up your birth date.
Or I do charts.
Or you can ask, Vickie can do your chart for you, and find out exactly where your Mercury is. So what that would mean is that you're going to have some power struggles. You're going to have some issues with expressing how you feel. You might have some people who are doing things to undermine you, like in work, power struggles within relationships, and you're going to find yourself frustrated a lot, I would think, especially with that Neptune square your sun, if you're in that first third of Gemini.
So that sounds like lots of fun for you guys.
We'll check it out. Also, Chiron, transiting Chiron will be squaring in the later third of the Geminis. So for 2018, so anyone from the 15th of June through the 21st of June, essentially, around there. I mean, those are rough days. But if you're born sort of in the later stages of Gemini, you're going to have
some tough times.
Psychic issues are happening. So like time reflection, rebirth, like working on your personal issues. And what do they have good for them for 2018? I'm kind of feeling bad because I'm only seeing negative stuff. They have to have some good stuff, right?
Not everybody's going to have like a peaches and cream year. Some years, like Capricorn is kind of rough. Capricorn was
I think Capricorn was good. You don't think that was good? Well, with Saturn returning home.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing actually for Geminis with Saturn being in Capricorn, because they tend to be like so idea focused and they need some grounding. Like if you don't have a lot of earth in your chart, then Gemini is
conjunct. It's like, what are they going to do with all that?
Well, I mean, just having it being in Capricorn, everybody, the entire planet is going to, I think, benefit from Saturn being in Capricorn. Just as far as structure and kind of getting the work done that they want to get done.
Let's explain Saturn and Capricorn to everyone, because everyone may not know what
that's a good point. Yeah.
That means. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. And Saturn is like, would you say like the disciplinarian?
Yeah, it's the builder,
teacher,
disciplinarian.
Yeah, and chart. get your crap in line. Kind of let's do this.
Saturn makes you work. It makes you serious. Sometimes can take
your goals, and Capricorn's a little goat that climbs up the mountain to get to its goals and to be successful and to dream, and I think those are some of the good things about Capricorn, and they're very loyal and they're very steadfast, and when you have Saturn that rules Capricorn, you kind of blend the two and you have somebody that makes happen. Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a Gemini, you're kind of all over the place. You're like, this is great. Okay, I'm bored. On to the next
Yeah.
thing. This is great. Okay, I'm bored. On to the next thing. I understand. I'm a Pisces. I have ADHD. I hear you. I hear you. I understand. But if Saturn is making an aspect to your sun, even if it's an inconjunct, which means kind of a tough aspect, that Saturn energy may rub off on you and you be able to get to that project and complete it. And it's going to be hell and it's going to be hard and you're going to want to tear your hair out, but you're going to feel so good when it's done. And you can say, I did that.
Yeah, because you know what? I think Geminis, I mean, as flighty as they can be, because they're just so interested in so much, they do get stuff done. Like, I think ruling that third house of communication is huge in every aspect of your life. I mean, and Geminis rule that. They rule communication. They're, Mercury is your planet ruler of your chart. And so they actually get stuff done and they're good workers. They tend to be really good workers. So having that Saturn in Capricorn, which kind of grounds everybody, I think this next couple years actually, I think that'll be good for Gemini. They can accomplish a lot. What else do you see? Anything else going on?
Well, we see, Pluto's in Capricorn as well. And I think that we should focus a little bit more on Neptune squaring Gemini's aspects. I don't think it has to be all the squares just make things hard. It doesn't make things hell. And Neptune kind of puts a fog on stuff and you're not necessarily sure like what's going on with Neptune, especially being a Gemini because you got so much going on as it is. But Neptune might give you a little bit of a psychic gut that you should listen to your intuition a little bit more, especially if you're a Gemini that has some Cancer. And we can check that for you. You might want to trust your gut a little bit more. If you meet somebody and you're like, that person's not cool, that person's not cool. Or, you're doing a project and you're like, this is a winner. It's a winner. Go for it. Go for what your gut tells you.
I think that Geminis in general have a hard time with that because they intellectualize everything. So they often intellectualize and overthink their gut. So maybe that's the lesson that they're supposed to be learning right now, is that they have to follow their gut, trusting their gut instead of their brain.
Yeah, I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy. But you guys can do it. Just give it a try. You might go giggity, but, give it a try, especially if you've got some Cancer. I think that'll help soften the blow a little bit.
I also think that Geminis will be experiencing a little bit of a relief with Saturn actually moving out of opposition to Gemini, right?
Yeah.
Moving into Capricorn. So they've already had to go through sort of like this difficult,
downtrodden,
very serious time, right? They've had for a couple of years now. They've had to, Saturn's been opposing Gemini for 3 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So now it's moved on. The hard work should have been done. Saturn works in 7.5 year cycles. So the last 2.5 years have been, I would say, more difficult for Gemini, but moving past it now, that should ease some of the hard work should start to pay off for Gemini, especially with having it go into Capricorn. So everything that you've been going through the last few years, you should start, as long as you didn't just blow it off, you should really start to see some benefits and some easing of some of the tension and the difficulties that you've been experiencing.
Do we want to make any thoughts about Jupiter and Mars in Scorpio with Gemini?
Yeah, well, I think for everybody, starting the year off with Mars conjunct Jupiter is a wonderful, wonderful time. Just a lot of energy. You have to be careful with excess during this time. Like if you have tendency to overspend or overeat or overdrink or whatever, everybody kind of has to harness in some of that energy. And in particular, Gemini can be, they can go to the extremes sometimes. It's going to be so it's, what is that in conjunct? I can't even see. I don't see the.
Yeah, it's in conjunct.
So, yeah, I would say that's kind of like it's a uncomfortable transit, right? I mean, but with Jupiter there, it usually
softens the blow.
Yeah, it softens the blow. So if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling like it's been a drain for the last couple of years, I think the year might start off slow, but as a month or two goes by, things are going to get a lot easier for Gemini. But they're still not going to have a clue what's going to happen for the rest of the year. I feel
and
like
what? And that's okay. That's okay. If you're a Gemini, I would journal or blog and just kind of get the words out, or blog or something, and say what you got to say, because you've got a lot to say, and I'm sure it's probably pretty interesting. And you should share it. And I bet you would get in touch with little pieces of yourself that you didn't know were there.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way of describing it. I feel like Geminis have gone through a difficult couple years. They're still in I wouldn't say it's like a bounty year for Geminis. It's still a time of reflection. It's a time of getting, all the dreams and things that you've been thinking about. You need to start taking action now. And it's a great time to start doing it. Mid-January should give you a lot more energy and a lot of motivation to start doing all the projects that you've been thinking about. And that's going to stay throughout the year. I don't think that's going to be changing. And in particular, those born in those early first, 15 days of Gemini, they might be a little bit more confused. But I think this is a, kind of a time of reflection, and then also working towards your goals again. Last few years you haven't been able to. That's my take on Gemini for the year.
That sounds about right.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right.
I think you guys can do it. And just think in like 3 years, everything will be in Aquarius.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be wonderful. I think
it's my turn to relax.
Yeah, but Geminis like to be busy and they like to be working. I feel like this is a good time for them to be doing the things that they should be doing.
Mm-hmm. But they'll be all tuckered out by then.
Yeah, no, then they can relax when it's in Aquarius and all their hard work starts to pay off, right?
Yep, they can go be smart with all the Aquarians.
Right. All right, yeah.
Sound good?
Yes, I think that's good. So,
all right, Gemini, good luck.
Make sure to subscribe. And if you have questions about your own chart, when we go live, you're welcome to come up and ask us questions at that time. What do you think?
Check our description box for social media contacts so you know when we're live. And we do chart readings and subscribe. And we are the Sleepless Astrologers. And you can find us on Facebook as well.
Yeah, we're on Facebook at the Sleepless Astrologer. We have a Facebook group where we talk about astrology and help people learn astrology.
And put up funny pictures.
Yeah, it's always fun. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much, you guys. Go do something fun.
Bye.